I gave Gemini a real biology study file and asked it to do more than just answer questions. I wanted it to figure out what I already knew, identify my weak areas, and then build a study system around those results. And there is another reason this matters for students. Google currently has a student offer that can give eligible higher education students 12 months of Google AI Plus at no charge. I'll explain the important conditions near the end. First, I opened Gemini and created a new study notebook. I set the goal around preparing for a biology exam, then uploaded a course PDF covering cell transport, DNA, mitochondria, ribosomes, mitosis, and meiosis. Before asking for a plan, I told Gemini to analyze the material. It pulled out the main topics and organized the content into the areas I would need to understand for the exam. Then I started the diagnostic quiz. I asked Gemini to test me one question at a time using only the uploaded material. The first question was about passive versus active transport, and that answer was correct. The second tested the DNA to RNA to protein pathway, and that was also correct. Then we reached mitosis. On the question about the stage where sister chromatids separate, I did not submit a correct answer. That gave Gemini a signal that cell division needed more attention. The next question was about mitochondria and ATP production, and that answer was correct again. So Gemini now had a pattern. I was strong in cell transport, genetic information flow, and cellular respiration, but weaker around the precise stages of mitosis. From there, I asked it to create a personalized 7-day study plan. This is where the study notebook becomes more interesting than a normal chatbot. The idea is not just to generate a generic schedule. It is supposed to use the diagnostic results to decide what deserves more study time. The notebook generated lessons and recommendations, but I noticed something important. Cell division appeared in the lessons, yet it was not clearly shown as the top priority in the first version of the dashboard. So I challenged Gemini. I told it that my diagnostic results showed a problem with mitosis, and asked why cell division was not at the top. Gemini updated the plan. Mitosis and cell division mechanics moved to the top. Mitosis versus meiosis became another priority, while the topics I had already answered correctly moved into a lower priority, mastered section. That correction is one of the most useful parts of this test. Gemini can personalize the plan, but the first result is not automatically perfect. You still need to review what it creates and push back when something does not make sense. Next, I asked Gemini to teach the weak area directly. It generated a short personalized lesson on prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. It specifically highlighted that sister chromatids separate during anaphase, which was the exact concept that caused the problem earlier. Then Gemini created a 3-question follow-up quiz. This time, all 3 answers were correct. So the full workflow became very clear. Upload study material, run a diagnostic quiz, identify a weak area, update the priorities, teach the weak topic, and test it again. That is the real value here. Gemini is moving beyond a simple ask-and-answer tool and toward an adaptive study workflow. I also asked it to summarize what I should review first, and it again recommended mitosis and cell division, matching the weakness found during the diagnostic. Now about the one-year free part. Google's current student offer terms say eligible higher education students in supported countries and regions can get Google AI Plus at no charge for 12 months. The current offer must be redeemed by December 31, 2026. Eligibility rules apply. Student verification, a personal Google account, and a qualifying payment method are required, and additional account and regional restrictions can apply. After the free period, the subscription can move to the standard paid price unless you cancel, so check the current terms for your country before signing up. My verdict: the study notebook is genuinely useful when you give it real course material and let it test you before creating the plan. The strongest part is the connection between the diagnostic, the personalized lesson, and the follow-up test. But do not blindly trust the first plan. Review the priorities and challenge anything that looks wrong. If you want more real tests of the newest AI tools, subscribe to Fisi Tech Lab, and tell me in the comments, Would you actually use Gemini to prepare for an exam?